Hello Nyy'xai Planet Earth, this is Nyy'xai Coach. Today's episode is going to be on Nyy'xai Social Alchemy. Social Alchemy is basically the energetic interplay between two or more mojos. Actually, it can be more profound and nuanced than that, but we'll just focus on the basics of Social Alchemy for right now, which is between yourself and one or more other people, one or more other mojos. What you're reading is the alchemic relationship between you and the other person or persons. How they're hitting you and your powers, that's how you're reading them. And that's the alchemy. So you're literally reading the soup between the two of you. All humans, all mojos, are designed so they can actually interact positively with productive harmony with any other mojo. However, it is a question of how difficult that is to do, both energetically and skill-wise. So the further away mojos are from you as far as their relative nature to you and the way you're designed, I mean, we all have the same human design, but the variables in there can be quite different. So the closer the variables in their human design is to yourself, then the easier it is to find those social alchemy interfaces, those productively harmonious ways of doing things. But you can do this with any group, and so that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to find out how you can work with all humans, and Social Alchemy teaches you how to do it. But in order to get to all of them, you need to build up your language, your energetic fluency, and so you can become more fluent by starting with mojos that are more native to you, and that'll make you have an easier connection and build your abilities up faster and stronger. And then you can take that and then reach out further and further in social alchemies until you get all the humans. The first social alchemy grouping is the design recognition. In design recognition, that's where you're able to see in other humans that have the same design as you. So you as a Nyy'xai, when you're able to see and accept all of the Nyy'xai on the planet. So every other human that has Ni, Zhai, Zi, Vi in that order. And that includes all nationalities, all races, all genders, sexual orientations, even development levels. You need to actually find love and an association with those of your mojo, even if they are vastly maybe something that you would not want to be, or there's something that seems like, oh, that's so incredible, I could never be that. All of that is part of your design of being a Nyy'xai. And when you're able to see that, it is a profound experience, both for loving yourself and for loving other humans. The second social alchemy grouping is the inspirational partner. The Nyy'xai has as their conscious powers Ni, Zhai, Zi, and Vi, and that implies who their inspirational partner is, because their inspirational partner has the four powers that you have unconsciously, they have them consciously, and in the right order for you. And that is the Nyy'xai mojo. The Nyy'xai has Ni, Zhi, Zai, and Vi, which is perfectly paired to make a complete story with your four powers. Those power together, all eight of them, they make a complete story, and that story is called the Nyy'xai storyline. Third social alchemy grouping is the same source partner. As a Nyy'xai, you are a Ni Alpha. That means that you use Ni as your source power. There is one other mojo that also does that, and that is the Nyy'xai. The Nyy'xai is your cousin mojo. They are very, very similar to you, but they do it a bit differently, and that's a great way to learn about your source power of Ni. The fourth social alchemy group is the inverse mojo partner. The inverse mojo is the mojo, for anyone, that is using the same momentum compound you are, except they favor the other power. So for you as the Nyy'xai, there is one other mojo that also has as momentum powers Ni and Zhai, but uses them different order, and that is the Zhai Ni. And this is a very similar mojo to you, the Nyy'xai, and you can learn a lot about yourself through them. And it's a good way to start expanding your bubble. By expanding your bubble into Nyy'xai, into Nyy'xai, and now into Zhai Ni, those are mojos that have a lot to offer you, a lot to teach you, a lot to give you, and you have a lot to offer and teach and give to them. So it's very, very rewarding all around. That's the basis, the beginning building blocks of your social alchemy. And it'll be these initial groupings that will allow you to do all the rest of them. And you'll frequently find these people that you already met, the Nyy'xai, the Nyy'xai, and the Zhai Ni. You're going to see them frequently throughout your social alchemies because they are so similar to you. Let's expand your social alchemy bubbles. Let's go now into quartets. Social alchemy group number 5 is the Source Song Quartet, and this is basically about a channel. There's 4 channels in the psyche. You have the interpretive channel, and that's where Nyi is for you. But there are 4 other channels as well, but that's not the most native for you. The most native channel for you is the interpretive channel, which is where your Nyi is at. There are 4 mojos that also have the interpretive channel as their top channel, and they share like a profound energetic fluency with each other. The 4 mojos that are in this grouping are yourself, obviously, Nyy'xai, but also the Nyy'xai that we talked about before, and also the Nyy'xai that we talked about before, but now also Nyy'xai. The Nyy'xai is another mojo that is a lead interpretive, that is a Nez Alpha. Social Alchemy group number 6 is the storyline quartet. Storyline quartets are based on 2 inspirational compounds. So that's going to be the Nyi with Zhai compound and the Ji with Nai compound. Those 2 together, the people that have that, there's only 4 mojos, they're called romantics mojos. This includes yourself, the Nyy'xai, also the Zhai Nyi, and Nyy'xai. A new one is the Ji Nai. That includes all the romantics. Social Alchemy group number 7 is the Change Flow Quartet. Change Flow is basically how you energetically naturally favor or are fed by things that are moving forward in a progressive way versus holding steady and being meticulous. And there's a balance that needs to be maintained between those 2 for all humans. But all mojos come with a preset energetics as to which they favor, which is easier, more comfortable, and more energizing for them. For you as a Nyy'xai, you are what's called first wave. First wave are the mojos that have interpretive power as their top power, as a source power, and then they have a literal power as their polar or last conscious power. The 4 mojos of the first wave quartet are Nyy'xai, 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 and Nyy'xai. Now you may note that those are the same mojos that you have as part of your same source quartet, the Nez Alpha. So the Nez Alpha had the same 4 members as first wave, but it's important to note it's for a different reason. The Nez Alpha is because of which channel comes first for you. Change flow is very specific to interpretive versus literal. So you're in that group with the same people, but for a different reason. Is it worth noting that certain mojos actually don't work that way? They have different members from their source song quartet and their change flow quartet. But lead perceivers, like Nyy'xai, they actually have the same members, but it is, again, for a different reason. The 8th Social Alchemy grouping is the Special Club Quartet. Here you're combining environmental preference. So what environments do you natively find most conducive? And when it comes to environments, generally there are 2 things that heavily affect, just as far as like, you know, the stimulus or the ambience of it. And that's going to be what kind of information is being given, and is it being done in a subjective or objective way. So the Nyy'xai, they're part in this grouping of the objective interpretives quartet. And in here you're going to have mojos that favor getting energy from the environment, but while they're there, they speak interpretive language. So they speak interpretive language and they're outward. Okay, that includes the Nyy'xai, Nyy'xai, which you've seen before, the Ji Nai, which you've seen before, but new now is the Z Nai. The Z Nai is the 4th objective interpretive, and that helps expand your game even further. We're now going to expand your horizons even more. We're going to move out further. These are still quartets, but they're further out quartets. We'll start with the perception quartet. The power of perception, whichever one you favor, that's what gives you the baseline quality of your eyes. So you as a Nyy'xai, you have Nyi as your top perception, and that gives you Nyi dancing eyes. There are 4 mojos that have Nyi dancing eyes. That includes the Nyy'xai, yourself, the Nyy'xai, we've met them already, the Zhai Nyi, met them already, but new is the Zai Nyi. The Zai Nyi also has dancing eyes, and they make the dancing eyes quartet, or what we call also the Nyi mojos. So you may hear referred to both ways, either as Nyi mojos or as dancing eyes mojos. They both are correct, just different ways of saying it. This also applies to discernment, and that is Social Alchemy grouping number 10, the discernment quartet, or we call the face. What happens from the mouth to the cheeks and how they interplay, that has to do with your values-based power and your logic-based power interplaying with each other. So whatever your major discernment, your lead discernment, your momentum discernment is, that is going to give your face, the cheeks and mouth, a general aspect based on it. So you as a Nyy'xai, your face has a natural poignancy to it. You have a Xai face. You have unaware mouth because you have Xai, but Xai is your top discernment. So that unaware mouth and the general energy gives to the area around the mouth and your cheeks and everything really, that actually gives you Xai face. So you hear that said a lot, Xai face or Xai mojos or something to that effect. That applies to you. Mojos that are in here include yourself, Nyy'xai, also the Xai Ni, but two mojos that we haven't seen yet for you in your Social Alchemy bubbles, and that includes the V-Xai and the Xai V. And so now you're expanding your horizons out further, but you have a bridge, which is they get momentum from Xai like you do, and that's a great bridge for you to work from to meet these new mojos and make new friends. Next Social Alchemy grouping, Social Alchemy grouping number 13, is the priority quartet. So we talked about before about how you can divide up the quadrants of the psyche into either role-playing character classes, wizard, hunter, fighter, pilot, tower, cleric, rogue, gatherer, things like this. You can do that, or you can divide it up like parts of a ship. So here you kind of have the map, worldview map. Here you've got dynamics mover, the steering. Over here you've got the compass bearings, the suspension system, and up here you have the stimulus register, which is sort of like taking information in from the outside, seeing through the front view mirror and whatnot. Okay, so as a Nyy'xai, you are part of the gatherer quartet. You are an objective perceiver quartet. You can look at it different ways, but it's basically those who are up here in this quadrant. So you, as a Nyy'xai, you're up here. So is the Nyy'xai. We've seen them already. And now also we have the V-Xai. We've seen them already. But another gatherer that makes the gatherer quartet is the V-Xai. The V-Xai is the fourth of the gatherers. In order for you to truly understand what being a gatherer is in its totality, you'd have to understand and be able to interact with successfully a V-Xai. The last of the quartets, Social Alchemy grouping number 12, this is the shades of consciousness. So what that means is there are 4 powers that are conscious for any human, and the other 4 are unconscious. Because of the human design we talked about in previous episodes, there is only a certain number of combinations you can have. There are 16 basic design combinations of where you can have the powers configured. This makes 4 quartets, 4 sets of 4, and each one of these quartets has 4 mojos in there that all share the same 4 conscious powers, but in different ranking. You, as a Nyy'xai, you're in the quartet that is Ni, Xai, Z, and Vi, but you can think of those powers as being in any order. And that would include also the Xai Ni. You've met them already. Over here, though, we have 2 mojos you've not been introduced to yet. These are quite different because they use your modulation powers as their top powers. But then they have your momentum powers as their modulation powers. And this is going to be the Z, well, actually for them it's the Z Vi and the Vi Z. Those mojos have, for modulation, Ni and Xai. Those 4 mojos, the Nyy'xai, Xai Ni, Z Vi, and Vi Z, they are shades of consciousness together. And so when you see them, if you're beginning mojo readers, for example, can confuse these for each other sometimes. Even though they have vastly different energy fields, you will actually see Ni dancing eyes on all 4 of those, but in very different ratios. You'll see all of them doing eyes left going to concern, but in different ratios. So it's very interesting, and it really helps you expand your idea of what your powers are and how it relates to the rest of the tribe when you're able to see your powers and another human, but configured in a different way, and it works. They're getting momentum, they're getting modulation, they're doing heroic stuff. It's just different from you. Different, but part of the same whole. We'll now get into the octets. The octets basically are going with the energy fields, like second gear stuff from mojo reading. And what it is it's which set of octet are you in. The most important of these is going to be the directive adaptive octet. So there are 8 mojos that are adaptive, there are 8 that are directive. You, a Nyy'xai, you are one of the adaptives. Social Alchemy grouping number 14 is the objective-subjective octet. You as a Nyy'xai, your first power Ni is objective, so you're one of the objective mojos. Social Alchemy grouping number 15 is the perception or discernment octet. You as a Nyy'xai have Ni, your top power, is a perception power. That means you are a perception lead mojo. Social Alchemy grouping number 16 for yourself is going to be whether or not you are an interpretive mojo or a literal mojo. You as a Nyy'xai, you have Ni as your top power. It is an interpretive perception, so you are an interpretive mojo. Social Alchemy grouping number 17 is logic-based or values-based. As a Nyy'xai, your top discernment is Xai. It's a values-based discernment, so you are a values-based mojo. Social Alchemy grouping number 18 is whether or not you are a Ni with Vi perception person, or whether or not you are a Nyi with Vi. Because Nyi is always paired with Vi in some ratio, and Ni is always paired with Vi. You're one of the mojos as a Ni, Xai, Z, Vi. You use Ni with Vi. And there are 7 other mojos that have that as well, but in different ratios. Same thing applies to discernment. In the next Social Alchemy grouping, you're only going to have those that combine Xai with Z, that's what you do, or they combine Xi with Zai. So you are one of the mojos that does Xai with Z, and that has 7 other mojos. Many of them are quite different than you, but they do share that, and that is something that you can relate to both in how you work inside your psyche, but also in how you read them. When you look on their faces, they're going to have, for example, physiological cues that are similar to you. In that way, they relate to you. They have Xai mouth, for example. They have Z articulation, just like you do, and that is another way to learn more about your powers and about how the entire tribe of humanity works together. Finally, Social Alchemy grouping number 20 is the entire collective. The entire collective has a bond in that they were built and evolved together. They have their, the various human designs that they have the powers that they have the social alchemies they have, because they're part of this one math, this human math. And we can share that with each other. Every human you're looking at is like they are because they're from the human species, which is the most advanced energetics we know of in the cosmos. So you're awesome because you're a part of it, and so is every other human. Humans are awesome. Know yourself, grow yourself, save the world with Social Alchemy.